Move a little bit. There you go. Okay. Scoot your butt. Hey guys, my name is Ruby and I am a polymer clay sculptor of miniatures. I have been individually sculpting and painting all of my creations now for over 13 years at this point. Throughout that time, I have made very little effort in recording my process, particularly when it comes to attending shows, any behind the scenes, things like that. So here I am trying the vlogging thing, and we're going to start it off with my experience at Momocon.
Hey boy.
Disconnected. I decided to make a few new things for the show, including these little soot sprites that would eventually become my blind box series. It was actually inspired by my younger sister who recommended I try the blind box thing. She's a little bit more in tune with current trends than I am. I honestly live under a rock sometimes, so thankful to her to inspire me to do this, and I gotta say it was pretty successful. The newest thing that I brought to Momocon was my first ever batch of clay artisan keycaps. People have been telling me for years now to get in the keycap game. I've been very hesitant to do so, but finally dipped my toes into it about a couple months ago, and I love it. It's just still a very new process to me. There's certain parts of it, such as the resin glaze, that have been proven quite difficult. I definitely need to work on my process to make it more efficient. It's quite time consuming the way I do it. It's just difficult. It's hard to get an even glaze to avoid bubbles, avoid dust. You gotta make sure it's sanded down or at least even enough so it fits on the keyboard. There's a lot in the process of making artisan keycaps than one might think. So, hoping I can improve on my process. And yeah, everyone seemed to like them a lot at Momocon and at my previous show, Anime STL, and I hope to bring out more during future shows.
Whoa! Here we go! Alright.
Okay, I want to pause here real quick to give a big thank you to these two in the back for waiting for me so we could head out together on our drive down to Atlanta. Not only did they wake up before the crack of dawn, but they also held out as I slept in through 3 alarms over an hour later than I was supposed to. So yeah, thanks guys. And thus began my over 10-hour trek from St. Louis to Atlanta. I've never driven this length on my own before, but with insane amounts of caffeine and excitement, I was able to get it done, somehow. So my friends told me that a pit stop at Buc-ee's was a must on our drive down. And I gotta say, it was quite an interesting experience. I feel like once you walk through the doors, it instantly smells like pecans and jerky and diabetes. And you just crave everything that's bad for you in a weirdly good way. Loden was pretty cool. I never tabled an event where I was literally able to drive into the convention hall to set up. It was quite the experience to be able to drive literally right up to my booth. And despite a little bit of a wait, it was totally worth it, as it made unloading the car to my booth quite a breeze. I unfortunately wasn't able to vlog my booth setup process as I was already feeling frazzled, didn't have a good place for the camera, and then there was this giant thing of a dumpster literally in front of my booth. and then 2. In the end, I was able to finish most of my setup and headed out to dinner with friends, literally smelling like a dumpster fire.
They're tiny. You need to play that like sad black and white log music. With other friends, especially if they're not physically here, and you're able to play together.
Top down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pointing at your playmat, and so you can.
So the light helps to prevent.
Yeah, because if you have a glare, like
glare.
my friend right here, then you can't see his car.
Yeah. Anything else? No, that's good. You good? Yeah, thank you.
So pausing here, they set up this entire timeline of a wall across from my booth, separating the Artist Alley from a walkway to other exhibits. Yeah, more on this later.
Look like you're doing work, man.
I am doing work. Like peel your sticky off.
I feel.
Even though I set up the day before, finishing setup day of took a while, as I don't usually put out my clay sculptures until a few hours prior. And also with this being my most elaborate table display to date, it just took a long time. But pretty happy with the outcome overall.
Putting up all the plant boxes.
Since I drove down for this event, I was able to bring a variety of my works. My smallest micro bottle sculptures, the larger, more scenic sculpts, and plant propagation tubes, my usual miniature sculptures of mixed fan-inspired and original themes, and the new Artisan clay keycaps. I somehow had some time to spare before the exhibit hall opened, so I walked around to visit some friends' booths, including my 2 friends who drove down with me from St. Louis. I also managed to find some other clay artists. We're a rare breed in the alley, so it's always fun to meet other clay artisans at shows.
Adorable.
Mama Charpati. Yeah, so she saw, her first time was on our China trips.
That looks good. That smells good.
Yes. I'm too old for this. You look like you're playing a child's rhythm game too. Just this one, right? Okay. Would you like to do card or cash? Track Howie. Hi, Howie. Oh, cool. That's pretty cool. That's a
really
pretty
cool.
cool thing. Wind it up, wind it up. Here, I'll move it out the way. It's not easy. No! I think these are done. Oh, it's so burnt. Like, how are you gonna walk around Momocon? Oh.
Early today.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning, y'all. There's 3 halls. Careful. Hey, bro, this is kind of how we came in last year. Came down the escalator. Reach 7, y'all. Come on.
Stop! Alright, you pose with her.
too good. It's not good. Oh, there you go. Where to? Wow.
It's because it's a stabilizer.
Hey Google, lights on.
So unfortunately, all the day 4 material was deleted off of my vlog camera by accident. So here's just what I have from my iPhone shot in vertical. Sorry guys.
Wall coming down. Bye, cars.
Welcome to the recap portion of the vlog. Finn, say hi. So there were a lot of firsts with this whole experience. Momocon was my first out-of-state travel con, my first 4-day event, first con with over 59,000 attendees. It was also the first time I had so many close friends and family be involved and actually see me and my work in action for the first time, which was really cool. So Momocon has always been a bucket list con for me for many years. I actually have known about Momocon since high school, since it was back at Georgia Tech, and how it's been growing bigger and bigger over the years. I was actually born and raised in Atlanta and still have many friends and family there, so it only made sense to apply and make the experience a workcation, if you will. I was going and thinking this was likely going to be my biggest total gross sales ever. Didn't quite make that mark. It takes 3rd place in that regard. I actually made more at my local anime convention, Anime St. Louis, both just a few weeks prior Momocon and last year. As far as expenses go, it included filling gas 3 times total, the booth fee, parking, and some upgrades to my booth display. I stayed at 2 different friends' places and my parents during the duration of the event, which helped to cut down costs significantly, and a major part of how I justified applying to the event in the first place. My helpers were all friends and family who came on their own dime and free will, mostly. One of them even took PTO to be with me on Thursday and Friday. Really, really grateful for them. Really grateful for my friends who let me crash at their place. You guys made all the difference and made the whole experience just so much more amazing. Thinking back, I feel like there may have been several factors that may have affected my profitability. One being location, so being an end cap. I've been told being an end cap may mean you could be overlooked easily and people just pass you by, seeing that you're not physically part of the alleyways of the Artist Alley. I was also facing a wall. I don't know why, but I'm always facing a wall the past few events. But in any case, that could potentially cut down on foot traffic and the flow towards the Artist Alley, just given how the layout was. Shoppers fatigue, I feel like that's very real, especially being that this alley was over 300 artists large. It was huge. I'm sure after going down a few alleys and buying all this magnificent art, you get tired pretty easy, pretty fast, and your wallet burns a hole pretty quick. For those watching who may be considering applying to Momo next year, be aware of the horrendous traffic that is Atlanta. Especially on the first few weekdays of the con, I would drive early, drive safe. Atlanta drivers are insane. Literally felt my blood pressure rising every time I had to get on I-85. Highly recommend loading in as much as possible the day before rather than the day of. It's just easier to drive up right to your booth and not have to deal with lugging product throughout the entire, mostly carpeted convention center. I would also make time to check out the entire Artist Alley. There is so much amazing art out there, so many cool artists, many of whom, like myself, traveled from out of state, out of town, took great lengths to be there. If you are lucky enough to have a helper, take a break every once in a while and walk around. Support your fellow artists. You never know who you might meet. You never know how much you might spend. Not only that, but it works in your favor as it's a form of networking. It also is a form of research, as you can see and be inspired by other booth displays, layouts, and trends that are going on. Make time to check out things outside of the Artist Alley. There is so much going on and so much to see at Momocon. For me, it was especially nice to doorbust the arcade in the mornings before official exhibit hall hours started. It was also nice to be able to see a pro Mario Kart tournament go on and look at Pokemon cards after exhibit hall hours. So yeah, 11 out of 10 stars for Momocon. 100% would do it again. It's just so worth it for me to do with it being so close to family and friends. I'll definitely apply for it next year. My next few shows will be local in the St. Louis area. My next one being the Red Lantern City Night Market. It'll be my first night market event that I'm vending at, so I'm pretty excited to see how that turns out. As far as anime and comic cons go, I'm still waiting to hear back from a few that I applied to for this year. The next soonest notification being New York Comic Con in less than a week from the time I recorded this. Thinking my chances are probably about 0.1%, but hey, might as well try and keep trying. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this vlog as much as I did recording and endlessly editing it. It was actually pretty fun, but also quite time consuming. I don't know how full-time vloggers do it. I also wanted to do this vlog as a way of showcasing what it's like to be a crafter in the Artist Alley. I feel like there's not too many of us out there, and on top of that, very little of us actually showcasing our work and vlogging the process. And that's probably because we are too busy crafting and making our artwork and prepping for the next show. So this is an ode to that. I hope to grab some footage from my upcoming night market and make that experience into a vlog as well. So if you're following, then keep your eyes peeled sometime July or August, and hopefully I will have something then. Until next time.
Like and subscribe
Hit the bell icon below.
for notifications.